There's a paradox that most people will never see coming. You make decent money, you own a home, you drive a reliable car, yet every single month you're completely broke. You're not poor on paper, but you're poor in practice. When you look at your bank account at month's end, there's nothing left. You work hard, follow the rules, do everything society tells you to do, and yet you're perpetually financially stressed. The truth is, the middle class isn't just struggling. It's architecturally designed to keep struggling. It's not an accident. It's not bad luck. It's a system that was built this way, and it works perfectly for everyone except you. And once you see how the system actually works, you'll understand why escaping it feels nearly impossible, and why so many people who earn good money still live paycheck to paycheck. The invisible prison of rising costs. Let's start with a shocking statistic that explains everything. In 1985, a single male worker could provide his entire family with healthcare, housing, transportation, food, and savings for college on just 40 weeks of work per year. Today, that same family needs 62 weeks of work to afford the exact same things. That's nearly 2 extra months of labor required just to maintain the same lifestyle. Your parents could afford the basics of life more easily than you can, despite higher education and better jobs. This isn't about individual failure. This is about an economy that's fundamentally changed. Wages haven't kept up with inflation. In fact, over the past decade, real wages adjusted for inflation have grown by less than 0.5% annually, while the cost of living has increased much faster. In 2024, inflation in the United States hovered around 3 to 4%, but wage growth for middle-income earners was closer to 2%. That 2% gap doesn't sound like much, but it compounds. Year after year, your purchasing power shrinks. You're earning nominally more, but in real terms, you're getting poorer. It's a silent theft that most people don't even realize is happening. Housing costs are particularly brutal for middle-class families. Median home prices in many metropolitan areas have surged by 20 to 25% over the past 3 years alone. In states like Florida, the median home price exceeds $400,000, and rental prices for a modest apartment average $2,500 per month. Meanwhile, if you have children, childcare costs range between $1,000 and $1,500 per month per child. Add transportation to that. The average American spends over $200 monthly on commuting, whether through fuel, parking, or public transit. And suddenly, these essentials consume most of your income before you even buy groceries or pay for utilities. One national survey found that 65% of Americans, often considered middle class, are struggling financially today, and don't expect that to change for the remainder of their lives. And here's the critical part: they can afford their basic expenses. They're not starving. They're not homeless. But they cannot plan and save for tomorrow. They're stuck on what some economists call the hamster wheel of life. You're running harder and faster every year, but you're not actually getting anywhere. The treadmill is just speeding up. The architecture of debt and lifestyle inflation. The system doesn't just fail to help you climb upward, it actively pulls you down. And it does this in ways that feel completely normal and justified. High-interest consumer debt traps millions of middle-class families every single day. Credit card balances, auto loans, mortgages, and student loans all compound over time. A typical student loan accrues $26,000 in pure interest alone over 20 years, assuming a 6% interest rate and average federal student loan debt of just over $37,000. That's $26,000 of your earnings that goes directly to the banking system. Money you'll never see again, money that could have been invested in your future. But there's something even more insidious happening beneath the surface. The system actively encourages lifestyle inflation. Once you reach middle-class status, society pressures you to look the part. You need the right house in the right neighborhood, the right car that's reliable and respectable, the right clothes and appearance. This isn't frivolous. It affects how people perceive you, treat you, and frankly, whether they trust you in professional environments. This phenomenon, commonly called keeping up with the Joneses, isn't just about vanity or social competition. It's a trap embedded into how modern credit and consumer culture actually function. Banks make it incredibly easy to borrow. Access to credit is normalized and encouraged. Suddenly, you're buying things on payment plans, financing experiences, and taking out loans for things that previous generations saved for years to purchase. And by the time you realize you've completely overspent, you're already trapped in a vicious cycle of minimum payments and mounting balances. You're no longer working for your freedom. You're working to pay off the debt that was supposed to bring you happiness. The celebrity examples illustrate this perfectly at an extreme scale, but the principle applies equally to ordinary middle-class families. Michael Jackson died with between $400 and $500 million in total debt. His debt payments alone exceeded $30 million every single year. He owned a sprawling estate with an amusement park. He collected art. He gave away gifts constantly. He spent without thinking about consequences, and the debt snowballed. Nicolas Cage owned 15 homes across the world, including 2 European castles and a private island, yet owed $6.3 million to the IRS and faced property foreclosures across multiple states. MC Hammer earned $33 million at the height of his career and filed for bankruptcy just 6 years later with $13 million in debt. He maintained a staff of 200 people and built a $30 million mansion that required constant maintenance and upkeep. Even with astronomical incomes, they couldn't escape the trap. The lifestyle expanded to match the income, and then exceeded it. And here's the crucial insight: the same trap operates at a smaller scale for the middle class. You get a raise, so you upgrade your apartment to something nicer. You get promoted, so you buy a nicer car. Your income increases, and your expenses increase faster, leaving you perpetually broke no matter how much money you make. The goalpost keeps moving, satisfaction never arrives. The structural disadvantages built into the system. Here's the final twist. The middle class doesn't qualify for assistance that helps lower-income families. If you're below the poverty line, you qualify for programs like SNAP, government food assistance estimated at over $700 monthly for a family of 4. Middle-class families earn too much to qualify, but not enough to easily afford everything. You're in a no-man's land where the system provides no safety net, yet costs are designed for 2-income households. This is by design. Middle-income countries around the world experience what economists call the middle-income trap. 108 countries are stuck in this position, home to 6 billion people. Only 34 middle-income economies have successfully transitioned to high-income status since 1990. That means the odds of escaping are extraordinarily low. Growth stalls, wages plateau, and families feel trapped with no clear path forward. The middle class faces headwinds that previous generations never encountered. Automation and artificial intelligence threaten job security. Healthcare costs remain unpredictable. Retirement security has eroded as pension plans disappeared and Social Security's future looks uncertain. Technology subscriptions, streaming services, cloud storage, online education tools now cost the average household $273 monthly, up from $199 in 2020. These seemingly small expenses add up to thousands per year. The system creates a perfect storm where you're always one emergency away from financial disaster. 52% of Americans say paying for an unexpected expense causes them significant stress. 49% cannot save for unexpected expenses at all. You're living so close to your means that there's no buffer, no escape hatch. Breaking free requires understanding the game. The middle-class trap isn't accidental, it's structural. You're encouraged to buy things you can't afford to maintain a lifestyle that costs more than you earn. You're offered credit too easily and often at terrible interest rates. You're taxed, you're inflated away from, and you're told that hard work alone will save you. But hard work within a rigged system just makes you tired. The people who escape don't do it by working harder in the same system. They do it by understanding what's actually happening. They recognize that keeping up with their peers is a losing game. They refuse to take on debt for depreciating assets. They build multiple income streams because they understand that a single job will never be enough. They invest aggressively and diversify their portfolios beyond just their primary home. The middle class will continue to be trapped as long as they believe the trap is normal. Your neighbor has the same problem. Your coworker has the same problem. So your friend has the same problem. So you all think it's just how life works. But it's not. It's a carefully constructed system that benefits those at the top by keeping those in the middle perpetually struggling. Once you see that, you can choose to play a different game. The question isn't how to become middle class anymore. That achievement no longer guarantees security. The question is how to break out of the middle class trap before it becomes permanent, and that answer requires rejecting the system's default settings entirely.